Oh my goodness, welcome everybody. What a tune that was. That is an absolutely awesome, wicked tune to get everybody hyped up for the weekend catch-up club. Welcome everybody, I'm Ross, your host for the next 30 minutes or so, and this is basically our weekly catch-up with the community, you guys, where I am here to try and entertain you, hang out, have a little bit of a coffee morning. So cheers everybody. As you can see, I have my iced cup of coffee. I am ready to go, and we have a few topics that we are ready to talk about. So first of all, welcome. I know it's Saturday, so thank you to everybody who has woken up this early. That is pretty awesome. Let me just double check everything is broadcasting okay. Please let me know in the chat if there are any issues. So it looks like we're all good. So welcome. As you can see, we are doing this live and it's going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be mistakes. We're going to just have some fun. We're going to hang out. We're going to chill. And it's just going to be a really good morning to kick off the weekend, I'm hoping. So a couple of things that we're going to be talking about today. And I want to get your opinions on it. And I'm going to, of course, give my opinions. And that is the big news. That is Far Cry 6 has unofficially leaked. Now, this comes via a wonderful article from Prima Games, and then confirmed by other outlets that were picking up the story as well. And it was rumoured that none other than Breaking Bad's Gus Fring was rumoured to be the main villain in the piece. That Giancarlo Esposito, a fabulous actor, of course, from Breaking Bad. And that has now basically been leaked and pretty much all but confirmed. So we've got that to talk about. We're going to mention about the Assassin's Creed Valhalla gameplay leak. That happened earlier in the week. There has been about 30 minutes of gameplay out there in the wilds of YouTube, and it's really interesting. It's really interesting. So I feel bad for Ubisoft for all these leaks that keep on happening. But again, would it be E3 if it wasn't a Ubisoft leak? Probably not. So we're still getting the leaks even though we don't have E3. So there's something there to hold on to, I guess. And also we've got news about Kingdoms of Amalur ReReckoning Edition. Specifically, I want to talk about the collector's edition that this game release is getting by THQ Nordic. They are bringing the game back to market, and this is a release that I could not be more excited about. I'm a huge fan of Kingdoms of Amalur when it came out on the Xbox 360. That's where I played it. It came out on the PlayStation 3 as well, but at the time I didn't have a PlayStation 3, so 360 was definitely the console I was playing on. And my god, it was just a wonderful game. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that. And of course, tonight, this just dropped in the news yesterday, Nintendo Treehouse Live. They are doing a conference live tonight. I don't have the exact times, but I think it's around 7 o'clock. I'm not too sure. We'll try and confirm that for you as well. And that is rumoured that we're going to be seeing proper gameplay of Paper Mario, the Origami King. So we've got that to look forward to as well. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about Ghost of Tsushima, which is launching in 6 days' time. Easily one of my most excited games, most hyped games that I'm looking forward to this year. I know Cyberpunk is getting a lot of attention, but that's such a way off. That is way out in November. But next week, Ghost of Tsushima just looks phenomenal. It's already kind of out there in the wild for reviewers. They're obviously reviewing it. There's an embargo that apparently lifts on Wednesday of next week. And then the game releases on, I believe it is Friday, the 17th, July 17th. Is that Friday? I think it might be Friday. Anyway, I am super, super hyped for that. And I can't wait to get my samurai Tenchu kind of groove on in the island of Tsushima. And that is, of course, by Sucker Punch Games. So, back to the first article of the day. And that is, of course, the Far Cry 6 leak. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to share my screen. And as you can see, on the screen here, we have the article via Prima Games. They have a fantastic article talking about all of the leaked information. So New Far Cry 6 leak reveals new villain and potential Far Cry 3's vast origin story, and that is the most exciting part about this news. Yes, it's awesome that Giancarlo Esposito is going to be the protagonist, the main villain, but it's even more exciting to think about the origins of Vaas. Far Cry 3, the main villain, I know he wasn't the end villain, but basically all the marketing was geared around Vaas as, what is the definition of insanity, right? That who can forget that monologue? It was just spectacular. So if we scroll down the page a little bit, we'll actually see that there has even been a store listing page on the PlayStation Store. This is the English version here. So I have the screen capture up, and it actually says here, "Welcome to Yara, a tropical paradise frozen in time." As the director of Yara, Anton Castillo, who I'm assuming is Giancarlo Esposito, is intent on restoring his nation back to its former glory by any means, with the son Diego. Now, is Diego the birth name of what ultimately becomes Vaas, right? That is really, really quite interesting. So let's zoom in a little bit here so we get a really good look. So, his son Diego, following in his bloody footsteps, their ruthless oppression has ignited a revolution. Fight for freedom. Play as Danny Rojas, a local Yaran, and become a guerrilla fighter to liberate the nation. This is awesome, and it does, Eric, you're absolutely right. It sounds like it could be like Che Guevara's, like the Cuban freedom fighters, that kind of thing, only with like blood and genocide and all that extra stuff. Not to... Anyway, but Yara is torn apart. Fight against Anton's troops in the largest Far Cry playground to date across jungles, beaches, and Esperanza, the capital city of Yara. So that sounds really pretty awesome. Really pretty awesome. And if we go back to the Prima Games article here, scrolling down, this is where, again, the hive mind of Twitter does its most incredible detective work here. Look at this. So we have this here. Somebody is an eagle eye and have actually compared the concept art, the box art, the kind of the marketing materials of Vaas way back in 2012, I think it was, for Far Cry 3, and they're comparing it to the child that is on the teaser image of Far Cry 6. And as you will notice, there is a very familiar, is it coincidence or is it hinting that this is actually Vaas? It is, coincidence? I'm really quite excited about this. So, is Diego in Far Cry 6 meant to be a young Vaas from Far Cry 3? Obviously, before the huge scar over his left eye, and obviously before he goes full-on psychotic, Vaas that we know of, that we love from Far Cry 3. So that is really, really interesting. And I would love to get your guys' thoughts on what do you think about Vaas, an origin story for a villain in the Far Cry universe. Personally, I am super excited by this news, and I can't honestly wait to basically find out more about this. I can only assume that this is going to be a key centerpiece part of the Ubisoft Forward event, which is happening on Sunday, and I think it's 10 PM British Standard Time, but I'm not too sure about that. I need to kind of confirm that as well. So that is freaking awesome. Vaas origin story. I am so up for that. I like what they were trying to do with Far Cry 5, with the crazy cult of Middle America, religious fanaticism, and a state, a country, a law unto themselves. Yeah, all the ingredients are there for making Far Cry 6 absolutely amazing. Giancarlo Esposito is an amazing actor, and Vaas origin story, showing him as a little boy, the son of Anton, who is the villain. Yeah, I'm hoping that they don't go the Assassin's Creed Odyssey route, where it's just this huge, sprawling collectathon of stuff to do. I would love it to be a bit more insular, a bit more focused, a bit smaller, and that would be just amazing. I would love for that to take Far Cry in a bolder direction, but also a more intimate direction as well. super up for that. So yeah, let me know in the comments what you guys think. Are you guys excited for Far Cry 6? Are you excited that Giancarlo Esposito is officially being confirmed as the main villain? But also the news that we have a potential origin story for Vaas is wicked. Anyway, we're gonna have to wait though, and that obviously brings us on to the next topic. And this is where I really feel really bad for Ubisoft, because all of their big hitters, their big reveals, their big news is getting leaked a couple of days before their big press conference, which is Ubisoft Forward. So Assassin's Creed Valhalla, when that got announced way back, a good couple months ago, I was super excited for that, because it was using like the Viking settings, the Scandinavia, Nordic mythology, Norse mythology, and it just looked awesome. The concept art looked incredible. This Viking character, you can play male or female, and I'm still excited for it. But I did actually, jump on YouTube because I wanted to see what the gameplay would look like, and probably, don't do it to yourself. Wait for the proper reveal on the broadcast, because the quality of the leak is really poor. It's very dark. It's low quality. It's obviously not like a high resolution video file. But on one hand, I'm slightly disappointed because it very much looks like Assassin's Creed Odyssey gameplay, and I was hoping for a big shake-up. That being said, there is a lot of new like flourishes and touches for the moves and like sieges and things like that look really impressive and exciting. So I am still hyped for that, and I'm really looking forward to that. And of course, there's a wicked collector's edition coming out for Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which is, I think it's the female protagonist character that you can choose to go, standing on the prow of one of her longboats, her Viking longboats, and it is just this incredible statue. So that is going to look amazing next to my Alexios statue, which is over there behind. As you can probably see it, just behind me on the shelf, and maybe not, it's actually directly behind me on camera. And I have the Assassin's Creed Origins statue, so it's going to look awesome sitting right next to those two. So that is something that I'm really looking forward to as well. Assassin's Creed Valhalla, I'm still hyped for, and I can't wait to see the official reveal on Ubisoft Forward on Sunday, which is tomorrow, and I believe it's tomorrow night. I think it's like 7 p.m. Pacific time is when it properly starts. So it's like the pre-show, and then we've got like the proper reveal starting. So yeah. So next on the list we have Kingdoms of Amalur, ReReckoning. So let's take a look at what this phenomenal looking collector's edition looks like. So ReReckoning will also, it's two editions. We have the Fate edition, that's coming in about $55. So that'll probably be equivalent in your British pound sterling, thank you sir. And there's also the ReReckoning Collector's Edition, which is going for about £99 or $100 to $110. And honestly, for a Collector's Edition, this is actually fantastic value. So first up, the Fate Edition. ReReckoning will also include a brand new DLC expansion called Fate Sworn. Brand new DLC. So not only does it come with all of the original DLC, which came out way back, like 7, 8 years ago, it's actually getting brand new DLC. So I'm really curious as to who the developers are. Who's the studio that's actually doing work on this like salvaging this great, awesome open world RPG and bringing new life back into it and releasing it obviously for THQ Nordic. So Fate Sworn will be part of the Fate Edition, which bundles the base game and the expansion pack for $55. No listings have gone live yet for the Fate Edition, but we expect them to pop up soon. This article is of course brought to us by GameSpot, but the one that I'm really interested in is the Kingdoms of Amalur ReReckoning Collector's Edition. So let's get zoomed right in so we can have a really good look at this. So not only do you get this badass statue, but you get 5 artworks, you get an Amalur keychain, you get a soundtrack, you get this statue which is Alan Shear, collectible statue of 20.8 centimeters or 8.2 inches by 18 centimeters. So it's a good sized statue, really cool. And excuse me, and you get a really nice like steel case edition of the book as well. So if we zoom out a little bit and we'll go down to the description, Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning has a pricier collector's edition, a nice option for long-time fans of the game. The Kingdoms of Amalur ReReckoning collector's edition will include the base game, all the DLC, as well as an Alan Shear collectible statue, keychain, original soundtrack, 5 Amalur artworks, and it'll cost you $110, like we've just discussed already. So I am really quite excited about that. Let's just bring this up. Is there any other pictures? I don't think there is. But yeah, for anybody who doesn't know about Kingdoms of Amalur, this is a game that is, well, basically, think if Fable and the Elder Scrolls had a love child, right? Bear with me, just like hang in there, just go with me for a second. And you take all of the elements, all of the systems from an Elder Scrolls game, specifically the Elder Scrolls Oblivion, and you take the style of Todd McFarlane, you know, the creator of Spawn, take his art style and fuse it with a Fable kind of vibe in terms of the gameplay, and then you have Kingdoms of Amalur. And I absolutely loved it, and one of the most awesome features about Kingdoms of Amalur was the fact that you can control your own fate. So as you leveled up your character or your weapons or whatever, you would, or complete missions, you would be rewarded with these, like a deck of cards, like several different cards, which were called your fate cards. And what was spectacular about them is that you would assign the cards to create your own fate, your own destiny. And that destiny would basically be your character build. So are you an assassin, are you a mage, are you a warrior, or are you a blend of all three? And you could constantly shuffle the cards to create a new destiny, a new character build, all on the fly. So you weren't stuck with constantly sinking points into being a mage and then thinking, oh damn, I wish I'm going to have to create a brand new character to essentially re-roll all of those skills. And that was before you could do it in any other big RPG at the time. And it's just awesome that you can do that. And then, so you can basically have a little bit of flavour from a rogue character to a rogue that can cast magic, or an archer that can also wield like a sword and a shield. There's just this amazing blend of being able to sculpt, like truly sculpt, a playstyle that you want to play, and that is freaking awesome. So we can see in the chat that we've got a few people that are big fans of Kingdoms of Amalur. So that is obviously super great to see, and I'm super excited to for when this game comes out. I think it's either August or September, and yeah, man, I'm really looking forward to it. And of course, anybody who knows the history of 38 Studios and Big Huge Games, with the two developers behind the Kingdoms of Amalur IP, yes, they spent a lot of money trying to make Kingdoms of Amalur, but then they basically went bankrupt because they wanted to make a genre-defining MMO with this IP, and that is, well, I mean, you got to question the business decisions there, because it was a brand new IP. Nobody knew anything about Kingdoms of Amalur. So should they have maybe focused on just establishing the IP first, get a couple of games, get the first one out, maybe develop a sequel which improves everything across the board, really fleshes out what they want to do with the world, and maybe after the sequel, then create an MMO. I mean, yeah, that's what I would have thought would be the best solution, but anyway, they went straight to trying to develop an MMO, and sadly it went bankrupt and the whole company went under, which is such a shame. But anyway, you can look it up. There's loads of like properly written articles and reports on the demise of 38 Studios, and of course Kurt Schilling, the famous baseball player who sunk his fortune into this endeavor. So yeah, pretty awesome. So what is next on the list? We have, of course, the Nintendo Treehouse Live. So let's just quickly scoot over to here. I'll share my screen again. So guys, I'll zoom back out again. So again, another GameSpot article. So Nintendo is hosting a new live stream event today, July 10th, which is today. I should be going tonight. While it's not a new Nintendo Direct, the company will show off a couple of titles as part of the Treehouse live broadcast, which is scheduled to begin at 10 AM Pacific time, 1 PM Eastern time. So that should make it about 8 PM, 7 or 8 PM, maybe, or is it 8 PM? Greenwich Mean Time or British Standard Time. So get prepared for that, because I'm definitely going to be tuning in. So specifically, Nintendo says it will broadcast gameplay of the upcoming Paper Mario The Origami King, which is set to release for Switch. Wait, what? It's gonna... Hold on. Broadcast gameplay of upcoming Paper Mario The Origami King, which is set to release for Switch next week. The Origami King is releasing next week? How did I miss that? Oh my goodness. Okay, right, I need a sip of coffee here. I've got to have a sip of coffee and just let that settle for a moment. That is insane. That is absolutely insane. So, on top of that, the company will reveal at least one new title from developer WayForward, the studio behind the Shantae series and other beloved 2D adventure games. Now, if anybody is not familiar with the Shantae series, you should be, because Shantae is a wonderful throwback to 2D scrollers, 2D Metroidvania scrollers, and there's actually quite a lot in the series. There's had loads of games. They've had some shorter ones, they've had some spin-off ones, they've had some collection bundles, but they've also had core Shantae series as well, and they are really, really good. Beautiful pixel art style, but there's also been some editions which have had more of a like hand-drawn illustration style. So it'd be really interesting to see what this new title from WayForward is going to be. Is it going to be a throwback to like the pixel style, which the 16-bit era is my favourite, so I know which way I am leaning. But the more kind of illustrative style, you'll be familiar with that if you've played the new Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom. That kind of style is very, very beautiful. It's very hand-drawn, and it is lovely. But I don't know, more of that side or more of the 16-bit era. I don't know. So let's boost back to this article as well, and let's have a little bit of a look. So we'll scroll down just a little bit. So check out the gameplay of the upcoming game Paper Mario Origami King tomorrow or today, 10 AM Pacific time. So what's most curious about the game reveal is the wording Nintendo used to describe it. The company says the game will be in a franchise new to developer WayForward. So that suggests that it's not a new IP, it is an established IP, but it's something that WayForward have never worked on. Could it be a Metroid game? Could it be something else entirely that is a staple of Nintendo IP? Could it be a Donkey Kong game? Who knows? I mean, speculation could be absolutely rife. But anyway, let's continue reading. Which seems to suggest that whatever the studio is developing is part of an already established IP that it hasn't worked with before. What that could be remains to be seen, however. In a follow-up tweet, Nintendo did confirm that WayForward is working on a third-party property. So at least we know it's not something new, like, so if it's an established third-party property, it's not core properties like Mario or Zelda or Metroid. But it could be, it could be a Mega Man title. It could be... What could it be? It could be anything. I'm really quite looking forward to this Treehouse and see what it's going to give us. So yeah, Paper Mario The Origami King releases for Switch on July 17th, the same day of Ghost of Tsushima. That is a killer day for games, oh my goodness. In the meantime, you can watch the game's opening cutscene and some of the funniest moments earlier on in the adventure. Anyway, we're not going to be doing that. So, that is really interesting. What a day Friday's going to be. Ghost of Tsushima is coming, which I'm going to be talking a little bit about in just a few minutes. And then, same day, we've got Paper Mario The Origami King. How wild is that? What a day. That's a day of dreams, that day, absolutely. So, next up, to wrap out the show for today, guys, we have Ghost of Tsushima. Look at this. So, this is the big, final, last hurrah send off to the generation for Sony and the PlayStation 4. And honestly, I cannot wait. I cannot wait for this game to come out. It just looks so beautiful. I mean, look at this, what you're seeing here. We've got our protagonist standing in this field. We've got like leaves just blowing. It is pure Kurosawa, and it just looks amazing. So let's scroll down the page just a little bit here. So we're going to scoot past the story trailer for now. And this is it. A storm is coming. In the late 13th century, the Mongol Empire has laid waste to entire nations along their campaign to conquer the East. Tsushima Island is all that stands between mainland Japan and a massive Mongol invasion. Led by the ruthless, cunning general Khotan Khan. Oh my goodness, and the island burns in the wake of the first wave of the Mongol assault. Samurai warrior Jin Kasai stands as one of the last surviving members of his clan. He is resolved to do whatever it takes at any cost to protect his people and reclaim his home. He must set aside the traditions that have shaped him as a warrior and forge a new path. A new path! This is incredible. The path of the ghost, and wage an unconventional war for the freedom of Tsushima. So, specifically guys, this is what I am hyped for. This collector's edition. Chris, thank you for letting me know in the in the comments here. This is I'm only broadcasting this to Facebook. This is only a show, an exclusive show every Saturday 10 AM for the Facebook community. It is exclusive for you guys. So, look at this. Collector's edition. This is what I have pre-ordered, and I am so excited and hyped for this. Look at it. It is absolutely gorgeous. We have... Let's see what we've got here. We have the face mask. We have, obviously, the box. We have a steel book. We have some collector's edition in-game DLC stuff. It just looks amazing. So, pull that out, and then I'm going to look at the proper description. So, pre-order and receive the following digital content. You get a digital mini soundtrack. You get a Jin dynamic theme, you get an avatar for your profile, and then the collector's edition gets the following. You get a game, you get a Sakai stand with mask, a cloth map, a Sashimono war banner, and then a Furoshiki wrapping cloth, a steel case, a 48-page mini book by Dark Horse. You get a technique point, which is obviously like some kind of like upgrade skill points. You get Charm of Hachiman's Favour. It's a skill point or something that you can boost or boon your character. You get the Hero of Tsushima skin set, golden mask, body armour, sword kit, horse and saddle. And check this last feature out as well. You get a director's commentary. This is definitely going to get put on for a second playthrough. The creative team sits down with a renowned Japanese historian to look at the world of Ghost of Tsushima and how it compares to real-life events that inspired the game. That, honestly, that is going to be a glorious, glorious collector's edition, and I cannot wait for this. I cannot wait. It just looks amazing, and I'm going to have to find space for it somewhere. Maybe over here somewhere. I don't know quite where I'm going to put that, all of the stuff, but I'm going to be doing something with my green screen wall, and maybe I can hang the war banners and the wrapping cloths, maybe get them framed and put them on the wall somewhere. It's gonna be really, really quite special, and I cannot wait. And you'll notice, guys, in the comments, my really best great friend Eric Gibbs in Facebook has typed in a code, and that will net you a theme for your PlayStation 4. So grab that code and get downloading. I cannot wait for this game. It's just going to be glorious. I know it's going to be glorious because, I mean, look at it. It just looks wonderful. The colour, the cinematography effort that has gone into this game just looks so beautiful. Yeah, Friday. The game releases on Friday, and I could not be more hyped for this game. I was beside myself with hype and anticipation for The Last of Us Part 2. It met all my expectations. I'm sure we'll go and have another show that is talking specifically about The Last of Us Part 2. I know I have lots of people in the chat and friends of mine that want to talk about it. And indeed, I have been messaging back and forth, having some really good conversations with some friends, just specifically about all of the beats of Last of Us Part 2. But, everybody, it is all about Ghost of Tsushima, because it's a brand new IP. It is from Sucker Punch Studios, and anybody who doesn't know, Sucker Punch Studios are the renowned developer. Again, Sony-owned studio behind the Infamous series, and their last game, or their first game even, on the PlayStation 4 was Infamous Second Son, and then there was a spin-off expansion pack called Infamous First Light. And if you haven't played them, buy them. They are wonderful. They are really, really good. And that came out in 2014, so they haven't had a game in 6 years. And I love the poetry or the symmetry that Sucker Punch Studios are the studios, not Naughty Dog, but Sucker Punch Studios are the developer that are bookending the generation for Sony and for the PlayStation 4. Infamous Second Son was the first proper exclusive game that came out 6 months into the life cycle of the PlayStation 4 or thereabouts. They showed the power of the PlayStation 4 and the exclusive game. Everything before then was cross-generational or third-party stuff, but Infamous Second Son was the first real big one that was an exclusive game. And then they're wrapping out the entire generation with a brand new IP, Ghost of Tsushima, and showing just what the PlayStation 4 is capable of. If you weren't already aware what the PlayStation 4 was capable of with The Last of Us Part 2, you're damn sure going to be sure of what the console is capable of with Ghost of Tsushima. So that is it. That brings us to the end of our show, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you to everybody who's been tuning in and chatting away. That was a cool 45 minutes. This has been the Weekend Catch-Up Club. I am your host, Ross, and this has been a kind of coffee morning show that I am going to be doing every single Saturday, where we get together, we chat, we drink some coffee, we hang out, we just have a good catch-up for seeing how the community's doing. And if you have any thoughts, concerns, questions, just want to banter, then that is absolutely the format for the show. That's what I want to do. And in the future, I'm going to be looking at getting some guests on as well, so you guys can maybe feature on a future show as well. It's going to be a lot of fun. But for now, guys, take care. It's been awesome. I'm your community manager, Ross Pollock from Gamertag, and I just love doing this stuff for you. Take care, guys. Have a great rest of your weekend, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.